What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? Mr. Money1235 coming at you live through the power of the internet. Although not really live. Who knows what I'm doing while you're watching this? I'm probably asleep, I'm probably fapping, I'm probably at work. It's not live at all. But I'm here to answer your questions. Let's jump right in. Who is your favorite lyricist? John Lennon. First of all, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, the Beatles in general. For sure, maybe not Ringo. Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day. Joshua Homme from Queens of the Stone Age. There are a lot of good lyricists out there. I mean, like, that could really be a big opinionated thing. I mean, some people might relate to other people's works more than others, but, yeah, for me, mostly, members of the Beatles, really. Do you like Rancid? Not really. I mean, like, I'm not really that hard of a person. Like metal, for example, I'm sorry, I don't like a whole lot of metal at all. I mean, like, is Five Finger Death Punch considered metal? Because I liked American Capitalist okay, but I still don't listen to it a whole lot. It's still nothing that I consider to be one of my favorite albums of all time or anything. I'm sorry, I'm just not really a metal fan. Yeah, can't help it. Give some examples of albums that you liked at first, but when you listen to them again, you realize they weren't as good as you thought they were. I've definitely been feeling that a whole lot with Oasis lately. I mean, every single time an Oasis album comes up on my iPod, I end up, like, skipping it or finding something else to listen to. This is kind of a weird question because usually it's the other way around for me. Usually I think something is just okay and then I end up loving it later on. But, it's getting to a point where maybe even the Green Day trilogy, I mean, like, when those albums first came out, I was freaking enthralled by them. I loved the shit out of all three of those albums. Like, I just loved them. They were like, you know, like in my 2012 video, they were my favorite albums of that year. But nowadays, you know, like, I found Green Day's older stuff to be better. But I mean, I still like them. If you could jump into a pool of food, what would you choose? Probably Meat Lover's Pizza, because I absolutely love the idea of, like, laying back and whatever I touch, I can just pick up and eat, and it'd be delicious Meat Lover's Pizza from Domino's. That would be fucking awesome. Maybe in the shallow end they can fill that with dipping sauce for the crust. That would be awesome. What are your thoughts on Radiohead? Do you like metal? If so, what bands? And have you ever tried Grant Lee Buffalo? I had never listened to Grant Lee Buffalo before until you sent me this question. I went and checked him out. I haven't heard a lot by him yet, but I actually really like his stuff that I heard so far. I heard the song Mockingbird, I believe. I really liked that one, so I need to listen to him some more. Thank you for the suggestion. Do I like metal? No. What are your thoughts on Radiohead? I think they're kind of overrated, but I mean, I own a copy of OK Computer. I mean, you know, like, I really don't see what's so enthrallingly crazy different about this band. I mean, like, yeah, they're a little bit artsy and they're a little bit different in that regard and stuff, but I just don't think they're that great, really. I mean, like I said, OK Computer, I love that album. I would probably like more albums by them if I tried them out, but so far I haven't heard anything that makes me think, oh my god, this is the greatest band of all time, so whatever. I heard some of them Rainbows as well, so they're good. I mean, like, I have no hate against them or anything, but I think they're a little overrated. Will you ever do a CD collection video? I did one a few months ago, back when I lived at my old apartment, but I've gotten a lot more albums since then. I mean, one of them got stolen, so I'm going to have to reorder that one, which really sucks. I cannot find this fucking CD anywhere. But I'll probably end up doing another one beginning of next month or so, because I have some things that I had to get imported. And whenever all of my albums get here that I've ordered, I'll probably film it then. So keep a lookout for that beginning of next month or so. You said in your Warning Green Day album review that you had dreams about being in a band. Were you ever in one?
Your eyes captivate me. Your kiss sets me free. Your delicate touch always brings me to my knees. And
yes. Do you like like any Disney films? Do you like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars? What's your least favorite Beatles album? Not allowed to say Yellow Submarine. What was the last film that you saw, and what's your opinion on the Dark Knight trilogy? Do I like any Disney films? Fuck yeah. I mean, I grew up on that shit. I had VHS copies of Hercules and Mulan and fucking all the old Disney films, man. I even had Mary Poppins on VHS. I love that shit. Still love this shit to this day. I mean, yeah, I was one of those people who actually watched The Fox and the Hound when I found it was on Netflix. I mean, I do it for the nostalgia, and they're also really good movies. Yeah, Disney, man. I like a lot of their shit. Do you like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars? Am I allowed to say both? Because I really like both. I mean, I like all the Star Wars movies. I like all the Lord of the Rings movies. I had action figures. I had an Aragon action figure and fucking Star Wars action figures. My favorite Star Wars character was always Jango Fett and Boba Fett. I always really loved the bounty hunter side of things. That's why I hope Star Wars 1313 comes out pretty soon, because I heard that that's kind of like you're taking the role of a new bounty hunter. I'm looking forward to that. Star Wars Bounty Hunter was actually one of my favorite games for the PlayStation 2 era, and I actually had a Lord of the Rings. I had 2 Lord of the Rings games for PS2, so love both of them. What's your least favorite Beatles album besides Yellow Submarine? This is a really hard question. Probably Beatles for Sale, if I had to pick one, because there's a few covers on there that I don't care as much about. I mean, like, they had some great original songs on that album, though, so it's hard to say. But if I have to pick one, probably Beatles for Sale. What was the last film I saw? I went and saw The Conjuring. That was pretty scary. I mean, it was pretty... I like scary movies. I'm looking forward to seeing Insidious Part 2, though. So, yeah, that was good. What is your opinion on the Dark Knight trilogy? Okay, I was going to save this video for a different thing, but we're getting into huge dislike territory. I am not a huge fan of superhero movies. I mean, I know that's blasphemous to say, especially in America. All of my friends love superhero movies. I am the only one that does not get into them. When the Avengers came up on Netflix, I watched that shit just to see what the hell the big deal was. I couldn't finish the movie. I didn't understand what the fuck was going on. I didn't know who anybody fucking was. I didn't know what the villain was. I didn't know what Samuel L. Jackson was doing with an eye patch. I don't know who these people are. I don't get into comic books. I don't get into that. I guess I just grew out of it because I really liked the Spider-Man trilogy back in the day with, what's-his-face? Tobey Maguire, I think. I really liked those movies, but I guess I just grew out of it. I don't see what's so cool about it anymore. What I find cool nowadays is like stuff like Cowboys and Aliens and really original movies that involve real life fucking people and guns. I don't really fall for this whole superpower thing anymore. And I mean, but I will say The Dark Knight, I was forced to watch this a whole lot in high school because that was just a movie that people brought in and we played when we didn't have nothing else to do in class. I really liked The Dark Knight. I mean, the Joker was a fucking awesome villain. I absolutely loved the performance in that movie for the Joker, which everybody does. I mean, he did a phenomenal fucking job. Like, I loved his fucking, like, so evil he loves it attitude in that movie. But, I never saw Batman Begins, and I never saw The Dark Knight Rises, because, like, yeah, I liked The Dark Knight, but I didn't, like, come over the idea of another movie after that. Like, I thought it was fine on its own. Like, I don't know. I don't care about superhero movies. I'm like the only one in the world. I feel all fucking alone, but I don't see the big deal. I don't understand. But, you know, whatever. There you go. Do you like Cage the Elephant? They came out with a new song a few days ago. I do like Cage the Elephant. Their debut album is awesome. But everything after that, I have not enjoyed. I mean, like, I didn't even like Thank You, Happy Birthday that much. I mean, their first single from that album, Shake Me Down, yeah, it might be catchy, but it's kind of boring. And I really don't like this new song that they put out. This new song is kind of boring, too. I don't know what the hell Cage the Elephant are turning into. I mean, their first album was energetic and fun, but now they're... I don't know. Aberdeen was a good song of Thank You, Happy Birthday. But, I don't know. Cage the Elephant are just, like, dying out for me. I don't really like the direction that they're heading in. Their first album was great. I wish they kind of just kept on doing what they were doing there, but they kind of ruined themselves for me personally. I mean, I don't know. I don't really like that song. Sorry to say. How tall are you? I am 6'1". Did you hear the album Sempiternal by Bring Me the Horizon? When are you going to make a video with Album Review TV? I didn't listen to it because I don't like Screamo, but I know about Bring Me the Horizon. I mean, my band was actually kind of influenced by that. My band name was The Horizon Is Here. That was the name of my band back in the day, The Horizon Is Here. A lot of people kind of compared us to that, but we weren't Screamo or anything. But yeah, I don't really like Screamo music. It's too noisy and fucking like has nothing redeeming about it for me personally. And when am I going to make a video with Album Review TV? Never. I mean, we did a thing on the Green Day trilogy. We did a retrospective on that when those albums first came out. But, I mean, like, since we're not friends anymore, and we live in two separate places, and it's just not going to ever happen again. We'll never make another video because we're not on speaking terms. We're just, I don't know. we don't like each other anymore now. Do you like Pavement? Amazing band if you never heard of them. I've heard of Pavement, but I've never listened to them. So, I should get on that, actually. Do you like The Clash? Fuck yeah, I like The Clash. I mean, like, I actually reviewed London Calling back in the day on my classic album series. And, I actually really like Combat Rock as well. I like those two albums really good. The Clash are fucking awesome, dude. Classic band. Are you gonna do an updated review on the new Vampire Weekend album? Why is 39 Smooth your least favorite Green Day album? And what does Showbiz do that makes it your least favorite Muse album? I probably will do an updated review on the new Vampire Weekend album because I feel like I can't get my opinion across really well. I mean, like, I can say all I want about how much I like the album now on my original album review for it, but that still doesn't tell people why. So I'm probably gonna redo it again. I don't mean to like fucking pussy out because like I don't like the mean comments I keep getting on the video or anything. I'm just doing it because I think I should actually tell people why I like it now and stuff. And why is 39 Smooth your least favorite Green Day album? There's just a lot of songs on it that I just don't think are that good, to put it in the simplest term. I don't think a lot of the songs on there are that catchy, and I think they get drawn out, kind of, and I don't know, I just don't think a whole lot of the songs on there are that good. There's a lot of skippable songs on there. I don't really like the song Dry Ice, or I don't know, there's a lot of those songs on there I don't like, but there's a few I do. And what does Showbiz do that makes it your least favorite Muse album? Same reason as 39 Smooth. There's just some songs on there that I think are so fucking skippable that it's not even funny. And I also kind of enjoy Muse's later stuff more than I do their earlier stuff because I really like the electronic twist that Muse put on their music on about Black Holes and Revelations, Through the Resistance, Through the Second Law. I love those three albums. The Resistance being my least favorite of the three. But still, I really love the twist that they put on their music. And the orchestral stuff that they used on the Resistance was awesome too. Like back in the day, Muse were just like a basic rock band. I mean, I own the album Origin of Symmetry too. I really like that one. But I don't like it as good as The Second Law or Black Holes and Revelations, for example. I mean, I don't know. I just enjoy Muse's later stuff more than I do their other stuff. It's just my opinion. I know most people don't think that way about Muse, but that's just how I feel. Do you think Gorillaz and Studio Killers will ever have a collaboration? I don't think they ever will, but I think that would be awesome if they did. I mean, two awesome, like, fucking animated bands coming together. The only thing that I think we'll ever have from that is, like, fan art. People who, like, draw the characters together and stuff. I don't think we're ever going to see anything official from that, but that would be really fucking cool. Have you improved your CD collection from your last video? Can you show us a video of your new collection? Like I said before, I'll probably do that again, yeah. There's a few albums that I need to get ordered, and a few albums that need to get here before I do that again. But keep a lookout for that at about the beginning of next month. I'll probably do it around then. What's your favorite Green Day song, if you can choose one? Do you like any forms of metal? What is everybody? System of a Down, Iron Maiden, Slipknot. Do you like Alter Bridge? They came out with a new song recently. I'd love to hear reviews. Favorite Green Day song? I honestly don't think I can choose one. I mean, the song Hiskira, I can't even say the name of that song. Hiskira's run far away from Nimrod. That album, that song was the first one that came to my head, so maybe that says something. But I really love the chorus of that song. I really love how loud it is. I really love the verses on there. It's just a badass song. That one's way up on my list for sure. I don't really listen to any forms of metal. I really like the song BYOB from System of a Down. I know that's their biggest single, so I mean, I can't really say much. I don't really like metal. And do I like Alter Bridge? Yes, I do actually. I haven't really listened to any albums by them. I've heard songs, and I really liked the new song actually. I think it's really cool. I really like the lyrics on it. I mean, like, it's not my favorite thing in the world because it's not my favorite type of music or anything like that. They're really alternative stuff, but it's a good song. I mean, no hate here. Do you like the Strokes? If so, what is your favorite album? I got into the Strokes with the album First Impressions of Earth with the song Juicebox. So I'm not really a huge expert on the band, but I really liked that album, and I also really liked the album Angles because they had a really cool retro kind of vibe going on in that album, and I really liked that. I haven't listened to the Come Down Machine though. I heard from a lot of people that it sucks actually, so whatever. What do you think of Weezer? I like Weezer. I listened to the Blue Album and Make Believe. I actually had Make Believe for a while. I think I ended up selling it at a yard sale or something. But once again, they're not like one of my favorite bands or anything like that. I also liked a whole lot of songs off of the album Hurley. They must have been huge Lost fans. That's another show I could never get into. Lost. My best friend, it was like his favorite show in the entire world, and that's cool. After, I watched the first episode of Lost, and I didn't get hooked. Like, he showed everybody the very first episode of Lost, and I was thinking that he was trying to get everybody into it. But after I watched it, I honestly didn't care about anything after the first episode. It wasn't that interesting to me, anyway. But anyway, yeah, Weezer. Good band, good band. Which do you prefer the most, tits or ass? I'm pretty much an ass man, really. I love grabbing that fucking thing. Yeah, I like a nice juicy ass. My girlfriend has a great ass. So that kind of works out. If you can be an animal, what animal would you be? I'd be a bird. Fuck, I'd love to fly. Being able to fly freely would be fucking awesome. Flight. It's magical. I'd love to fly. Flying. Do you like Operation Ivy or The Descendants? I really like Operation Ivy. A few songs off of Energy, anyway. I mean, I didn't like the whole thing because his voice got a little annoying to me. I've never listened to The Descendants, though. Creed or Nickelback? You're so funny. If I have to, probably Nickelback, just because there are actually a few Nickelback songs I do actually like. How You Remind Me and Rockstar and This Afternoon. Those three, I guess. You might cover this in your Linkin Park Discovery Reviews, but what's your favorite Linkin Park song? How did you find out about Linkin Park? Have you checked out Mike Shindona's and Chester Bennington's solo work outside of Linkin Park? My favorite Linkin Park song, I don't know if I can honestly answer, but Numb is way up on my list. I really love the song Numb. It was one of my very first songs that I heard from the band. I got into the band from Breaking the Habit, but Numb is probably one of my favorite album songs from them. How did I find out about Linkin Park? I'm going to have to go way back on the past on this one. I saw the music video for Breaking the Habit. I really loved the anime style that was going on in that video, and I really loved the music that went along with it. And after I heard that I knew I wanted the album. And for Christmas of that year, whatever year the album came out, I actually got it. And so I've been a huge fan ever since. Probably 2003? Is that when that album came out? But that's how I found out about them, the Breaking the Habit music video. Have I checked out their solo work outside of Linkin Park? I've listened to a little bit of Fort Minor. I know that's Mike's thing back in the day. I've never really listened to any Chester Bennington solo work. I know he's fronting another band. What the hell is that band? He's fronting He's fronting a new band, right? It's not a new band. Their last singer left. I can't remember what the fuck the name of the band is right now. But I listen to Fort Minor. Do you prefer the early Beatle period, 62 to 66, or the late Beatles period, 67 to 70? I really like both, but I'll probably have to go with the early Beatle period because I really enjoyed like the straight up blues and rock stuff that they had going on like albums like With the Beatles and Please Please Me and Rubber Soul and fucking Help. I loved Help. That was a great album. Yeah, probably that, because there's a whole lot of songs in the later Beatles period that sometimes I don't feel like listening to. But, you know, songs like Hello Goodbye and I Am the Walrus and Hey Jude and fucking The White Album being one of my favorite Beatles albums. I mean, they're just gonna live on forever. I mean, it's all fucking awesome. They're the Beatles. They're the fucking Beatles, man. I mean, they're just all awesome. What would be your dream Queens of the Stone Age set list? Okay, I don't feel like I can honestly answer this one because I really like set lists to be like a surprise, but if I could pick like what albums that they would play, I wouldn't pick a whole lot of things from their debut album, honestly. I'd probably pick, if they played the entire album Like Clockwork, and they played the entire album Lullabies to Paralyze, they just mixed in those two album songs. That right there would be enough for me. I would just like come with joy if they played songs from those two albums. But, you know, songs like Turning on the Screw and Sick 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 and fucking Give the Mule What He Wants. I really like that song. There's a few on the debut album that I like, okay? Don't get me wrong here. I really like the song Mexicola. It's fucking awesome. I Was a Teenage Hand Model. They would never play that song live. Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like I should write this out for you or something. I might do it in another video. But yeah, if they just played songs from those two albums, Lullabies to Paralyze and Like Clockwork, I would be happy. That's all I would need. Do you like REM, Oasis, Stone Roses, Happy Monday, The Who? What's your favorite song / album by them? I really like REM. There's a whole lot of songs by REM that I like, but I've never listened to a full album from them. I should probably get on that because I think I would really like REM, honestly. Oasis, I love Oasis. I don't listen to them that much anymore because I don't know. I had their Don't Stop the Clocks compilation album, and I also have their newest one, Dig Out Your Soul. I hope they come back together and do another album because Dig Out Your Soul was awesome. I love Dig Out Your Soul. That's a great album. Y'all should check that out. It's really different, too. I really like the song The Turning. I love a lot of things that Oasis did. Everything from Stop the Clocks compilation and Dig Out Your Soul. Love those two albums. Stone Roses, I've never really listened to. Neither the Happy Mondays. I haven't really listened to either of those bands that much. I mean, I've heard of both of them, but I've never listened to them. And The Who, well, I'm going to be cliche. I really like the album Who's Next. Tommy was pretty good too, but Who's Next is my favorite from them, honestly. I know it's got a whole lot of the big singles on it, but it's just what attracted me to that album. I can't help it. Some of my favorite songs by The Who, probably The Seeker. The Seeker is a huge favorite of mine from them, along with the ones that everybody knows. Squeeze Box, that's pretty funny. Baba O'Reilly, Won't Get Fooled Again. Shit. It's just so many. The Who are awesome. They're classic too, man. Okay, well that was all of the questions for my 500 subscribers Q&A. I'll probably be doing another one of these pretty soon, so keep a lookout. I got some more things planned. I got some skit type things going on. Stick around. Mr. Money 1235. I'll see you guys later.